Good morning everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups for today. So starting off with EURUSD as normal. So looking at the 8 hour, we are still very much in this channel, and what we do have at the moment though is a bit of a triangle forming. There's the I suppose we can do it like that. So we have a bit of a triangle forming sort of close to the middle of this channel. Okay, so you can see this channel that's running up here. I can actually add another line up there. You can see that was the previous channel, breakout, break in, break out, retest. So they just add a little bit more confusion to the structure. Okay, so what we're going to do is just delete that and put a horizontal in here, because there is this area is fairly significant here. You can see all the price action around 118.42. Okay, so we've had a strong move up, we've had a move down, and it did bounce off a level. You just had to look fairly hard for the level because there's so many tails in this area, but let's just give it the benefit of the doubt that that is the level. We can do that. That's the level there, right? So we bounced off 117.953. We've moved up. We've had a gap down, and we're moving down at the moment. For some reason, there's no noise that's pushing it down. So I'm going to assume that this is just a pullback, and we're sort of gathering steam to get through this area here of 118.422. Okay, so let's leave that level in, and let's look at where we could possibly go in. So firstly, that needs to hold. Okay, 118.252 needs to hold. If it doesn't hold, that validates a double top, and then you can expect to move pretty much down to the 117.95 area. Okay, so the interesting thing is going to be to see what happens with price action right in this area. You can see there is a bit of a level here. Okay, so what we want to see is where the 118.336 holds. If 118.336 holds, I would expect the gap to close, and then at the same time I'd more than likely expect us to travel, let's just do that, there somewhere into this area here of 187, which is probably that high there. Yeah, 187. Okay, so did I do that right? 1187, sorry. So 1187 is the target. We're looking for an entry somewhere in this area that we are now at 118.336. If we do break below 118.252, I wouldn't take the short. I'd wait for the retest, because it may just pop down there just to convince you that you're wrong, and then turn to the upside. Okay, so I think we should focus on dollar weakness at the moment. That is what's happening. We've got this week left, and then we have the election. So yeah, it's going to be volatile. So hold on to your hats, look for structure. You're probably going to be better off coming down to something like a 15, 20 or 30 minute chart and looking for your entries off structure on that. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing there. US dollar, Japanese yen, similar kind of scenario. We're in this zone of resistance. And remember, what I'm looking for is dollar weakness at the moment. So we're looking for a bounce in this area. We could possibly get higher. Okay, and there's quite a bit of structure to the upside. I'll give them to you now. On the hour, you can see there was a good rejection around this area here. So areas to the upside to watch are 104.943, 105, and then 105.087. Okay, so that's kind of the structure that I'd be looking for a reversal of. Let's just get back down to the hour, and you can see we are making a sort of higher lows, not really making higher highs, but if you look at that structure, you could take it either way. That could be the start of a turn from here, or it could just be building a smaller range on a smaller time frame just to target one of the areas. So just going to have to watch and see what happens here. And again, this is probably one you're probably going to find 15 minutes is the one to go for. A break below here on this tail, which is the lows 104.823. If you get a 15-minute close below that, that would validate moves to the downside. But if you look at the 15-minute inside bar, it does look like trying to do something, but we'll have to wait for Europe Open to see. So I'm definitely looking for shorts, either right where we are here or off either of these levels, 104.94, 105 dead, or alternatively 105.08. Okay, Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie, we have bounced significantly off some structure here. Okay, we've come back down, but if we just look at the hour, you should see a little bit more structure here. There you go. So that's my trend line break and retest, and we're busy moving. I'm looking for longs, probably a good area to be long at the moment here, but we do have this area of resistance here. Okay, so there is a fairly strong area here, so I'd like to see us get above that and then pull back onto it. So I would wait for a break, pull back onto here, and that's going to be 166.393. Okay, Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar, new pair on the watch list. Just got rid of the New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen pair. Wasn't really going anywhere. And the reason for this, if you look at last week's close, we closed with a weekly pin bar off structure. There's my structure there. And if we come to the 8 hour now, you should see fairly strong bounce. Okay, and we are now forming higher highs. Okay, so we've got this level to break through. Okay, that's the previous swing low. And you can see we're flirting with a moving average at the moment. It does look like a bit of a wedge forming. But let's just get to the hour, because that's going to give us the structure we're looking for. Okay, so if you just open up there, I hope you can see that. Pretty big head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders. Okay, there's a shoulder here, there's a head, and here's a shoulder. So the neckline at the moment is sitting at 0.93900, and then we are looking for some structure to the downside, and that would be sort of the structure that I'd be looking for. The other bit of structure is right where we are now. Okay, so what I'm looking for is some kind of a bounce right where we are. Let's say 0.93580, or alternatively 0.9344. Looking for some structure in this area for a move to the upside. Otherwise, what the safer bet would be to look for the new high at 0.93900, wait for the retest of that, and that'll get you along. And that should validate, well, there's two ways to look at this. So there's another bit of, I suppose that's probably the one you want. So let's ignore this top level. Let's look at this one here. We want to close above, close in a retest of 0.93829. That's the neckline of the head and shoulders. Remember, and your target is going to be the height of the head and shoulders. Okay, so your target goes all the way up to here, which is 0.95173. And if we come to the 8 hour, you'll see there is some resistance here, and you will need to take some profit in this area as well. That's a pretty good area to take profit there. Okay, so first target is 0.9446, and next one is 0.9517. Okay, so those are probably the best setup of the 4 that we've looked at already. So that's Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. British pound, Japanese yen, still pretty much, we're going nowhere, to be honest. There's so much noise around Brexit, and then you've got, the COVID nonsense that's happening in the UK now, where they're going into hard lockdowns, and for example, Wales is going into a hard lockdown, something which we had in South Africa, which you can't buy non-essential goods. How that stops the virus, I'm not sure, but it does destroy economies pretty rapidly. So that's something just to bear in mind. And we are trending to the downside with this pair at the moment. So I have a feeling we are going to get more downside here with pound, Japanese yen. This is the line in the sand for me. So 136.422. I need us to get down below that and then retest. Okay, alternatively, what we're looking for is something in this area that we're in now. Okay, open range strategy is probably a good one for this. Just bear in mind that we have moved daylight savings now for those of you that aren't in Europe, and markets will open an hour later. So just pay attention to this. Keep looking at it. You're looking for the first 7 hours, 1 hour candles, and then draw your range in on those and see which way it breaks. If it breaks the downside, that's going to validate this momentum to the downside, and then you can probably trade it that way. Okay, it is messy, but I think you're going to get more downside here. Okay, not a decent setup though. For me at the moment, Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar is probably the best setup that we have right now. Okay, moving on, Aussie dollar, US dollar. So yeah, big up, big down, big up, big confusion at the moment with dollar pairs. I just want to draw another there. Okay, so we do have a bit of a channel forming, and if those of you that have read Al Brooks's books, you can see there's a spike down and then channel. Okay, pretty common pattern that, and very messy. So I don't think I'd be wanting to trade this at the moment. In actual fact, I'm not interested in any of the dollar pairs, probably only US dollar, Japanese yen, because that's going to be the most sensitive. So just keep my eye on that and see what happens. But Aussie dollar, US dollar, not looking too exciting. Big up, big down, big up, big down, big confusion. We're in this area of what I can only call chaos. So yeah, so I think this one I'm going to stay out of. Not interested in that one. Final one, British pound, Aussie dollar. Now we've been waiting for the retest of structure, and it's broken through the structure. Okay, so remember we've got this area here. We did break through, and now we're pulling back. Now I think, in my view at the moment, this is really just a deep pullback. Okay, but again, as I said, with Aussie dollar, US dollar, we have, sorry, not with Aussie dollar, with the British pound, Japanese yen, any of the British pound pairs at the moment. So you've got all the noise with Brexit, and then you've got all the COVID noise at the moment. So I'm not entirely convinced that you actually want to be in on the pound at the moment. So we had this break, came down onto structure, but now it does look like it's starting to change its trend. Okay, and you can see it's respecting the moving average at the moment. We are trending down in a pretty much a tight channel at the moment, but any noise could influence this in any direction at the moment. And look at this nonsense that's happening now. Let me just zoom in. Okay, so look at that. Look how it closed. Okay, that's to be expected on the close. I mean, you know, pin bar, range bar. But look at this, 4 pin bars in a row. Okay, with a gap up, then 4 pin bars. Yeah, we could probably see this thing continuing to the upside. Probably the smartest move, even with all the noise. If we just ignore the noise, which I keep saying to myself, ignore the noise, this does look like a half decent setup for some kind of a long that's brewing. Okay, what I would want to see though, for a move to the upside, let's get there. I want to see us get back above 183,300, pull back, test it, and start making higher highs and higher lows as well. That would get me convinced. Okay, with a gap here, I have to wait and see what transpires. But with 4 pin bars like that, I wouldn't be wanting to short that. So let's keep an eye on this. It could surprise us because it's pound against Aussie dollar. It may just surprise us. But there's a sort of a half opportunity, I think, for continuation to the upside. And remember, we did get a decent break above 184,178, and that is the top. I'm just going to go to the daily for here. That's the top of this structure. It's a breakout. We've got a daily close above here. Now we've had 2 days pullback, and we've gapped up. So yeah, daily the trend is up. It has reversed. We're looking for some support to be found for it to continue up. Bear in mind that you've also got a gap up here as well, and it's going to be pretty clear, well, not till there, it'll be clear sailing all the way up until 186438, but we just need to get some structure. What could happen here is this thing could continue down onto the trend line here. Okay, anyway, so just watch this one. I think of all the forex pairs today, Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar is the one to watch. That's a chart to keep open right now, and wait and see what transpires here. Okay, it does look like it could be a break, but bear in mind the trend is down, so it could also be a reversal. But just looking at the price action of the last couple of 8-hour bars, I think we're going to find some support somewhere in here for another leg higher. Okay, anyway guys, that's it for me today. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Cheers for now.